line in this game. That's a new record. But listen to this exchange with a fan.
No one wants to see a free throw shooting contest.
All right, so that was an amusing moment. Now let's get to the one not so amusing. Jalen, fourth quarter, Rockets up 13. Harden will have an uncontested breakaway dunk. This ball goes through the rim. Explain to us what you see.
Well, James Harden playing defense, number one.
Yeah.
Excited about that. Number two, it's a terrific dunk that should have counted. However, since it didn't count, it was one blown call in the game. It actually happens. And continue to play, especially when you have a double-digit lead.
To be clear, let's just watch that again, though. You see that ball go through. It clearly goes through the rim. He wants to argue it. That ball goes through, circles around the outside. That is obviously a basket. Mike D'Antoni trying to challenge anything he can. They tell him that he can't, and so the game does go on. Now, to your point, the Rockets have every opportunity to win it. They led by as many as 22 in the game, but back come the Spurs. Here we go, late in the game. This is Lonnie Walker tying it. He had 19 points in the fourth quarter. This tied the game at 1:15. Ensuing Rockets possession, James Harden missed a lot of shots.
He sure did miss a lot of shots. That's terrific D by the San Antonio Spurs. But you mentioned Lonnie Walker was the difference maker in the fourth quarter.
Harden shot 11 of 38 in this game. This is in overtime now. 2 seconds to go in the overtime. Harden with a chance to win can't get it to go. So we go to double overtime. Rockets have a 1-point lead. Just over 10 seconds to play. Here's Harden's third chance to win the game.
This is terrific help side defense, a contested shot. Good deflection by DeMar DeRozan, getting out in transition, getting to the free throw line.
He did get to the free throw line. He made both. He would score 23. San Antonio a 1-point lead. One last chance for the Rockets. They get it to Harden. He's called for the charge.
That's terrific help side defense by Rudy Gay, getting in there, sacrificing your body. DeMar DeRozan, his buddy from California, sacrificing his body.
James Harden scored 50 points in this game, but it's the two that didn't count that I have a feeling we will be talking about for a long time. Here's what the NBA crew chief, James Capers, said. Quote, "We have since come in here and looked at the play. He dunked it so hard that the net carried it back over the rim a second time. So, in fact, it did clear the net and should have been a successful field goal." Our buddy, our colleague, our teammate, Jay Williams, was up early and tweeting at the show this morning. He tweeted, "I understand refs make mistakes. We're all human. But the missed call of the James Harden dunk last night really takes the prize. If the ball goes through the net, the bucket is good, period. The Rockets should have won in regulation." Our Tim McMahon, who covers this for us, is reporting the Rockets are hopeful, that's the word we have here, hopeful, that the league office will act and either award the win to Houston, or they will go back and play the final 7 minutes and 50 seconds at a later date.
You're getting really emotional about one play in a basketball game.
To be clear, in basketball, I'm assuming anyone who's watching the show knows this, but they go back all the time and check things in the game, right? Was his foot on the line? Was it a 2 or was it a 3? It seems to me that would have been a much easier way to solve this than overturning the result of a game the following day.
They're not going to overturn a result. My brother Jay Williams, the Houston Rockets definitely would not have won just because they got that 2 points. And the bottom line is this, it's a blown call. I was watching the game, it happens. But what about stopping Lonnie Walker from scoring 19 points in the fourth quarter and 28 points off the bench? It's a terrific defensive play by James Harden. It's a blown call by the officials. It's an egregiously blown call, however, but it's one play in a basketball game.
I guess so. Here's the thing, though. We all watch so much basketball that when you see something you've literally never seen before, it just jumps off the screen at you. How does that happen? Tim Legler earlier pointed out the official is standing right there. He can see the ball go through the rim. How does that happen?
I played a lot of basketball in my life, on regular nets, on chain nets, and you're going to think this is a little bit crazy, but I think the nets were too long. That's actually why that took place.
Would you go on with that thought for a minute here? So,
normally,
is there not a regulation length that the
normally
net is?
in an NBA game, sometimes you see somebody make a shot all net and the net get caught on the rim.
Yeah.
That means the net is too long.
I see. So that could be a factor here again. Just watch it closely. You'll see that ball, it sort of circles around, and I can see why someone might think it didn't go. Even Harden, you can see, is running back, stay in the play. So maybe it wasn't 1,000% clear to him either, right?
Correct. It wasn't clear to him either. He made a terrific defensive play. He finished the play. They were up double-digit points. It was a blown call. When you're the Houston Rockets playing on the road, you still got to find a way to win that basketball
Understood.
game.
So, again, to be very clear, I do not believe they should go back and play the final 8 minutes again.
No.
I certainly don't believe they should.
They won't, by the way.
They won't. I agree they won't, and I don't believe that they should, and I don't believe that they should or will overturn the result. But shouldn't they be able to, at the next time out, go back, look at it, and change it, right?
I agree. I agree with that premise. The premise is when somebody shoots a three-point shot, foot may be on the line, the officials allow the play to continue. Then when the play stops, they go back and reveal that the play was a 2 or a 3. That should have been able to happen in this case. Because of this play, now in the future, that's going to be something that they start doing.
I think so, too. I mean, it just seems like something, it would have been so easy to do. They add points, take away points in the middle of a game like that. Look, I totally agree with you. This one play doesn't fully decide the game. It looks bad because it winds up going to overtime. It doesn't decide the game, but it's something that probably should not happen.
It is something that should not happen, and after this play, it's something that won't happen in the future. The NBA does a great job of reprimanding its officials. They just don't always do it publicly. And you know when the 2-minute report comes out, but that wasn't in the final 2 minutes of the game.
Okay, so that's...
Dr. to Matt Berry helping you wake up on a Wednesday. I can't wait to watch that Harden highlight.
Okay.
It's phenomenal. What do the penultimate rankings tell us in college football? And we're going to head to the Bahamas.
Like we're going there?
No, it's not in the budget.
Oh.
We're going to go to the great state of Texas first.
We are. Harden makes a little history, and the refs make a big mistake. Let's go to the Alamo City. We had a thriller in San Antonio. James Harden coming off that 60 ball against the Hawks. 14.4 free throw attempts per game, on pace to be second most in NBA history. And Harden would get to the line in the first half. He's fouled here in the three-point attempt. Here, because he can drive two and be fouled. But this is what's funny. So he's at the free throw line, and he has a little exchange with a fan. Listen closely.
No one wants to see a free throw shooting contest.
Yeah, so shut up. James Harden, 24 for 24 from the free throw line Tuesday. Most free throws without a miss in regular season NBA history. To the fourth quarter, we go. All the controversy surrounding this exchange. So Harden gets a steal right here. And on the other end, Matt, this looks like a dunk, right?
That's right.
The refs say, no, it doesn't actually count because they said at the time that the ball didn't actually clear the cylinder. It's ruled a miss, but it seems to go through the net not one but two times. And Harden and Mike D'Antoni can't actually believe it because they're like, wait a minute, it already went in. He just did it emphatically. It didn't change anything. Here's what Harden had to say about the dunk after.
Were you given any kind of explanation on why the dunk did not count? Oh. What were you arguing, or how were you trying to convince them? Ball winner.
So the NBA crew chief James Capers on James Harden dunk said, we've since come in here and looked at the play. He dunked it so hard that the net carried it back over the rim a second time. So in fact, it did clear the net. It should have been a successful field goal. They also said the Rockets didn't challenge it in the 30 seconds that they could. Didn't seem like much of the time because the Spurs were down 13, trailing by as many as 22 in this point. And at this point, it's an 8-point game. And then Lonnie Walker just decides he's going to do a complete take over. You see him here, huge corner three, Spurs down just by 3, under 20 seconds left in the game. Rockets still up by 3. Harden's going to miss here. We're going back the other way. And again, it's the second-year guard. He had a career-high 28 points, 8 straight points. That's another 3. 19 points in the final frame, and we are knotted up at 115. He's feeling it. He should. Ensuing Rockets possession. Harden's going to have the ball. 5 seconds to play. He drives. He's stuffed by your favorite, Jakob Poeltl, Matt.
Yeah. It's a Jakob Poeltl party.
It really is. He was a monster on the glass, had 15 rebounds as well. So we're getting some extra basketball. Under 2 minutes left. Rockets trailing by 3. Harden, drive, gets the lay-in and the foul, hits the free throw because, of course, he made history. So we're tied at 124. Later on, it's Bryn Forbes. Drives, floater's good. Spurs up by 2. It's a thriller. It shouldn't have been. They were up by 22 were the Rockets. There goes Westbrook. Had a triple-double. After the Spurs miss a shot, it's the Rockets inbounding. 2 seconds left. Harden shot at the buzzer. No good. We're getting another overtime. That's where we pick it up. Over 1:30 to play. Spurs down by 3. Forbes with the feed. Sits. Hits. We're knotted again. Later on, it's the Rockets up by 1. There's about 10 seconds to play. Harden is going to drive. DeMar DeRozan. No! It's blocked. We go the other way, and DeRozan is fouled. He was huge in this one. He makes both his free throws, so the Spurs are up by 1. There's still a chance, though, for the Rockets with about 3.3 seconds to play. Harden gets the inbound. He drives. Could be a foul? No! It's another foul, but on him. An offensive charge. His second in that second overtime. Harden has 50 points, but can't believe he couldn't convert and get those last 2 at the end of the game. So in unbelievable fashion, the Spurs win 135 to 133. in double OT. Mixed night, you could say, for Harden, right? Because as I mentioned, he did tie an NBA record by making all 24 free throw attempts, and he scored 50 points for the second straight game, but he shot just 11 for 38 from the floor, so it wasn't particularly efficient. That is the worst field goal percentage by any player, Matt, in a 50-point game in the shot clock era.
Prolific score is Harden. However, two that didn't go on his stat sheet, those. The NBA official has since said, yeah, you know what? It probably should have been a field goal. But as we stated, Rockets didn't challenge. Ball goes in and out. Now a big controversy ensues. Here's Tim McMahon.
Well, the Rockets are prepared to file a protest, but they're optimistic that that won't be necessary. Rocket sources tell me that they are optimistic that the league office will take action, either by awarding them the win, since they technically did outscore the Spurs in regulation, or order that the game be replayed with Harden's dunk counting and replay the final 7 minutes and 50 seconds.
Imagine that if they just played it just for that one basket.
It's amazing.
In case you're wondering, the last time a game was replayed was March 2008. The official scored incorrectly, ruled a Shaq foul out of the Hawks Heat game in December, so the final 51.9 seconds were replayed because he was fouled out. Shaq did not play as he was then traded to Phoenix by then. No one scored in the replay, and the Hawks kept the win.
Oh, all right, it was a big one for us.
Yeah, we had to change it up a little bit, hang another banner. 3 other times NBA games were replayed. Of those, the only replay that ended up leading to a change, and the winner was in 1982 when the Spurs unofficially lost to the Lakers due to a wrong call in the final 3 seconds of the game that were later replayed, resulting in a Spurs win. Now to the 2 top teams, or the top 2, if I read the graphic correctly, in the West. Lakers on the road in Denver. Peyton Manning and LeBron James. I wonder if he's giving him some details.
Oh, wow.
Early in the first quarter, LeBron, 2-handed finish. Have another look-see. Now, typically, if it's LeBron, it's maybe the best dunk of the game. But in the second quarter, LeBron would be one-upped by the Carew Show.
Oh!
Alex Caruso. Have another look at this. I'm telling you what. So we're going to go split screen. We're going to go battle of the bald spots.
Okay. All right.
And see who did it better.
All right.
Lakers led by 11 at the half. Anthony Davis, the story here, received an IV at halftime. He was having flu-like symptoms. Third quarter, Lakers up 1. So this is technically his flu game. Not sure it's going to get the same coverage as the Michael Jordan flu game. Either way, it's flu season. Kids, get your shots.
Yeah.
Lakers lead by 2. Got mine the other day.
Did you?
I did. Later in the third, Rajon Rondo. How's that for a high handoff? Lakers lead by 6, led by 8 after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, Nuggets trail by 5. Nikola Jokic being guarded by Davis. Oh, take that, flu. I'm just going to drink more